page 281, the last paragraph, which starts with, "It must be kept in mind." Just keep it open. Before that, we will go through the promise divine. In the jail, he had received the divine message, "I am rising up this nation to send forth my word. It is for the world and not for themselves that they arise. I am giving them freedom for the service of the world." This is what Sri Aurobindo announced when he came out of the Alipur jail. And this should be our guiding light. While studying any book written or authored by Sri Aurobindo, and when I say authored, that means his indirect influence. His indirect influence, many books have been written and many novels have been written by the influence of Sri Aurobindo. We will talk about that later, but let us understand first the seemingly simple promise given by Sri Krishna. Not clear? And before we go to this promise, let us understand from what level of mind this promise is coming. Because the entire synthesis of yoga is nothing but synthesizing the various layers of our mind. You always remember that when we talk about yoga now in this century, yoga means controlling chitta vrittis. And we should know the difference between mind and capital M mind used by Sri Aurobindo. Aurobindo just doesn't say mind. When he writes mind, many places you will always find in synthesis of yoga, it starts with a capital M, and that capital M is chitta. Manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. These are the four layers of mind. And when you cross the ahankara, you enter the supramental plane. So this particular promise that Sri Aurobindo received in jail was from the level of overmind, just below the supramental level. That we should remember. Because as we go on conducting these classes, Sri Aurobindo will lead us to one level of mind to higher levels of mind. You will feel that transformation in this week. But the only thing I want you is be open. Don't let your preconceived ideas come now. You can analyze it later. You can discuss it later. But what now you are supposed to do is just be open. Just be open, whether you like that statement or not. Because the moment you say, "I like this statement," the ego comes in, the ahankara comes in. And once ahankara comes in, the entire integral yoga falls down. So the capital mind, this is received from the capital mind, chitta. After that you have ahankara, and after that the real goal of integral yoga, the truth consciousness, or what we in the Vedantic literature call it as Vijnanamaya Kosha, comes in. So this is the promise. If you go through these pages of synthesis of yoga, you will be led by Sri Aurobindo himself. Layer after layer of your mind will be opened and peeled off. But you should allow it to be done. That's most important. For that, this promise is very important. This is the reason for which Sri Aurobindo came out of the jail and allowed himself labeled as a coward. Because after this, Alipur Ashram, let us not call it a jail, because it depends on how you look at it. For the outsiders, for those who were then struggling for the independence struggle, and for Britishers also, Sri Aurobindo was jailed. But we know now that it was not a jail for him, it was an ashram for him. So that is the type of reorientation of thinking that is required wherever you are. You are in the Sri Aurobindo's ashram of supramental truth. Wherever you are, whatever job you are doing, it is not the job which is important. It is not the place you are residing which is important. It is not with whom you are living it is important. Because Sri Aurobindo lived with gundas in the jail, you can understand what type of people were around him. And so eloquently he writes that suddenly he found that all are Narayanas. All are Narayanas. And if Sri Aurobindo can look at the people who have jailed him as Narayanas, the people with whom he is forced to live as Narayanas, we are free people. We are not forced to live where we are, but we are supposed to live there because of certain obligations for evolution. You remember this, if you are understanding, if you are knowing why you are there, you are practicing integral yoga. That is the first step towards integral yoga. Don't try to change your habits. Don't try to change your thinking pattern. Allow it to be changed. Do you understand the difference? You are not going to change your thinking patterns. We are allowing something more powerful than us to change us. That is what we are going to read. But why this change? Why this supramental descent? What is it that made Sri Aurobindo, who was supposed to be the most single dangerous man in India at that time, feared by the Britishers as the one single man who is capable of overthrowing them, and he overthrew them, that is another story. But for all practical purposes, we feel that he sat without any work. Many times, many politicians came to him asking him to come out of that silence. And if I am right, it is Sri Champaklal who wanted a guarantee from Sri Aurobindo. He said, okay, I will come over to the ashram. I am not sure of the name, but if you can say, tell me the name of that revolutionary. He went to Sri Aurobindo in 1920s and he said, you who were the leader of our that great revolutionary spirit in India, you are sitting quietly in Pondicherry. Then Sri Aurobindo said, you are also welcome. Why do you feel that you are not welcome? You can also come and join the ashram. Then he said, no, I have a duty to perform. I have decided that I will work for the freedom of India, and therefore if anybody can give me a guarantee that India will be free, and that too soon, then I will join the ashram. Then it seems that Sri Aurobindo kept quiet for a few minutes, and then he said, I give you the guarantee. A.B. Purani, right.